had enough time to think about it. Life's not gonna get me down. There's nothing can stop me. Gonna make it in this town. I've got a rainbow in my pocket. I've got a dream that just won't die. I've got money my parents gave me, so it's about time I learn to fly. Doing it my way, seeing it my way. Got a lot of love to share. Life's a big banana sandwich. I haven't got a care.
The all-new Alexei Sayle Show.
Alexei Sayle Show, take one.
I'm not actually very happy about this, but as part of the BBC's educational outreach programme, they've asked me to hand over the filming for today to some promising young students who would really like to work in television.
Hang on a minute, Alexei. The camera's not right. How's the sound, Helena?
It's great, yeah, clear as a bell.
OK, from the top then, Alexei. Oh, Helena, have you got the camera dolly?
Yeah, here it is.
All right. Now, start acting now. Oh, sorry. Action.
I've always hated students. Even when I was one, I hated them. Especially civil engineering students. Oh, look, there's a piece of cardboard. I'll shag it. After I graduated from art school, I spent months scanning the job ads, looking for the advert that was offering the post that I'd spent the last 3 years training for. Wanted, the ad would say, young man to come in about lunchtime and sit in the canteen moaning. Here, why don't art students look out the window in the morning so they'll have something to do in the afternoon? But when I used to do live gigs, I really tried really hard to keep the ticket prices down so, like, the kids could get in. But you'd still get some miserable, whinging bastard coming backstage. Usually a student going, oh, wow, man, like, £3, like, it's just too much. I mean, like, the students have to go without drugs for, like, a week for that, And, like, I was really annoyed with you, man, because you really should do half your acting Gujarati, right? So then, like, the immigrant community could dig it, you know what I mean? But if I ever start touring again, when I do gigs, I'll still have a special price for students. They'll pay double.
Getting dark.
My God, Holmes, how did you know?
I just simply looked out of the window.
I see. And you deduced from simply looking out of the window that it was getting dark outside. You never fail to astonish me, Holmes.
What? I mean, how? Oh, God, what is it now, what?
The lamp! The lamp! You reached out and turned up the lamp without even looking. I mean, how did you know it was there?
It's always been there, what?
I see. So you deduced, by eliminating the remote possibility that somebody had moved it in the meantime, that in all probability it would still be there when you reached out and turned it up?
Yes. Ah, kettle's boiled.
What was that, Holmes?
I didn't say anything.
Gentlemen, would you like a cup of tea? The kettle's just boiled.
I thank you, Mrs. Roly-Poly.
Holmes?
Yes.
You knew the kettle was boiling, didn't you?
No, I didn't know.
My God, your modesty is exceeded only by your genius. You heard the whistling sound, which you deduced was caused by steam, which results when water is boiled in an enclosed space.
I'm sorry, I can't take any more of this. I'm going out for a walk.
My God, the door! How did you know the door was there? Are you some kind of a god?
Just calm down, Watson. You're only looking for a rise, aren't you?
You really are a genius, Holmes.
Self-employed are often criticised, but It can be terribly difficult being self-employed, especially if your boss is a bastard like me. I keep sexually harassing myself. I think there's a lot of unemployment in Britain because we underutilise our resources. For example, you there at home, you're sitting on chairs. You could be sitting on a school leaver. Or what about that awful hold-on music that they give you when you ring up somebody in an office and they're not at their desk? You know, yes, Mr. Jenkins isn't at his desk at the moment. Would you like to hold on? Then they could pass the phone to a school leaver who could go... A lot of people in show business moan about their jobs, but I'm actually very grateful to have a job. In fact, I go up to people and I go, "Here, aren't I Alexei Sayle?" And they go, "Well, yeah, I suppose so. Can I have your autograph?" And I go, "Piss off and stop bothering me, will you?"
Coming soon to ITV, Linda LaPlante's Nuns.
What do you think you're You think this is going to solve anything fighting amongst ourselves?
She called me a bastard!
Look, it's Joe's been murdered!
And don't miss Linda LaPlante's Postman.
What do you think you're doing? SNW6, there. You're talking to me.
Also from the pen of Linda LaPlante. Sheep.
You've been drinking again, haven't you?
Oh, piss off.
Fish. Bastard.
Wanker.
Horses.
You've got to let go.
Geese.
What did you say?
I didn't say nothing.
Coming soon to ITV.
You know, I love it when you're watching a cop movie and one of the cops in the movie turns to another cop and he says, "Hey, this isn't a movie, you know. I mean, well, duh. I mean, that really messes with my head." I don't like going to the pictures much these days. I mean, people are so badly behaved, aren't they? I mean, they act like they're at home watching a video, so like they talk all the time. And I mean, you try giving them the look. And then you do your impression of a steam engine. Shh, 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 shh. But I mean, they don't take a blind bit of notice, they just keep yakking. And they bring their TV remote controls from home, and in the slow bits of the film, they're waving it at the screen going, "Fast forward, fast forward." And like they try and tell the projectionist to put the film on pause while they go to the lab. The person who usually comes and sits down in front of me is like the elephant man, you know. I mean, in the old days, a night at the movies used to take a day and a half. I mean, first of all, there'd be the B film. Then there'd be a bloke playing the current pop hits on an organ. Snap, I've got the power. Snap, I've got the power. And then there was the Pathé News. I actually think it was called the Pathetic News, but the ick had dropped off. I mean, this always seemed to be the film, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, embarrassingly watching a tribal fertility dance in some outpost of the Empire, with all these geezers' genitals flapping 3 inches from their faces. Oh, yes, yes, that's very interesting. Yeah, not very popular these days, are they, the royal family? I mean, Duke of Edinburgh's Award. Duke of Edinburgh's Award. What would you have to do for that these days? Build a treehouse while shagging an actress? The Prince's Trust. The Prince's Trust. I mean, I wouldn't trust him with my wife. Mind you, that's because I'm married to Camilla Parker Bowles, actually.
I'm all hot and sweaty.
Yes, we better not overdo it.
Hello. Have you heard the good news?
We had the stereo on.
No, I mean, are you willing to let the Lord Jesus Christ into your life?
Perhaps. It might be interesting.
Yes. Come in, Mr. Christ.
Mr. Bill, have you ever thought about God?
Yes, I have thought about God. Where's he gone?
I think he left. An hour ago.
How long have we been standing here?
3 hours.
Ah, that got rid of him.
Well done.
Ha, 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 ha,
There used to be this militant communist organisation when I was younger. We were full of righteous hate. We hated fascism, we hated injustice. But most of all, we hated each other. After each other, we hated Trotskyists. I don't know if you know Trotskyists. They're the ones like Socialist Worker, the ones with the fake Scouse accents who point all the time. Trotsky himself was actually a Russian Jew born in the 19th century, but if there were any recordings of him talking, I bet he'd be going, "Comrades, comrades, how many Trotskyists does it take to change a light bulb? You can't change the light bulb, comrades, you've got to smash it." What Trotskyists like to do is they like to parachute in on a dispute and take it over, you know. Like, say you're having a row with your milkman. Within about 4 minutes, Socialist Worker will be down there with posters saying, "Socialist Worker supports Mrs. Jenkins in the two-potsy yoghurt dispute. General strike now." That's one of the things the Trots always do, especially Socialist Worker. They're always calling for a general strike. Presumably they're doing that because the last one was such a rip-roaring bloody success. I mean, they're so detached from reality. Militants of all kinds live in the place where the people from Cloud Cuckoo Land go to get away from it all. What they also like is the grand, pointless, empty gesture. At the time of the Spanish Civil War, there was a communist called La Pasionara. During the siege of Barcelona, she said, "It is better to die on your feet than to live on your knees." No, it's bloody not. It's better to live with your head in a bucket of shite than it is to die at all. It's better to live your whole life with your arse being bitten by gummy crocodiles than it is to die even a bit. It's better to live your life with your head stuck in a speaker cabinet, right? And the cabinet is connected to a CD player playing a mini CD of Phil Collins's Another Day in Paradise over and over and over again than it is to... No, well, maybe not.
The audience didn't like that bit, so let's get the warm-up man to calm them down.
How you diddling? Bloody sod you then. Pills for the nerves, you know. Yeah, anyway, I was in this unisex hair salon that I go to the other week, Maurice de Doncaster, and I was reading in this women's magazine, right, about Meryl Streep, apparently, keeps in touch with reality, keeps her feet on the ground by doing her own ironing. That's nice, isn't it? I do something similar myself. I keep in touch with reality by life constantly kicking me in the bloody gob. I don't keep my feet on the ground. I keep my face in the bloody mud. I have my wife and kids leave me. That keeps me rooted in bloody reality. Meryl bloody Streep.
All right, that's calmed them down, so we'll go back to VT.
Yeah, all right.
I'm actually something of an explorer. I've been to Egypt to look at the pyramids. I've been to Australia to look at Ayers Rock.
I've been down the post office for me gyro. I was in the Amazon basin a while ago, just before somebody threw up in it. And all through the day, I could hear these drums beating, ba-bum, drums beating, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. I turned to my native guide. I said, "What's all these drums about?" He said, "Oh," he said, "be not afraid of the drums. It's when the drums stop that you must be afraid." I said, "What happens then?" He said, "Guitar solo." I was in India a while ago, and I had a job there in the marketplace. I was a snake charmer. I used to stand in the marketplace going, "Hello, you're a nice-looking little snake, aren't you? I say, that's a lovely little snake frock you've got on."
I want a word with you.
Yes, Matron Foster.
I want to have a word with you about the tennis match you organised between the manic depressives and the anal retentives.
Yes, it's a session of sport therapy.
Yes, well, it didn't last very long, did it? The manic depressives served the ball, then the anal retentives wouldn't give it back, and then the manic depressives started crying.
Yes, well, Matron, if you'll excuse me, I've got a patient to attend to.
Doctors.
I've been studying your files, Mrs. Sinclair. I think the blue ones are better than the yellow ones myself, don't you? No, seriously. We've got the results back from your tests, and I'm afraid that the news isn't good.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Sinclair. I'm afraid that you're what we psychiatrists call completely mad.
Christ. What about my husband?
What you both went through...
Well, we thought it would just be a bit of fun.
Hypnotism is a dangerous game to play for fun, Mrs. Sinclair. And the great Santini, or whatever he calls himself, was not even properly trained. All he had was a bogus certificate from the Wabbeluga Hypnotism College. It's not even a proper college. It's just a group of blokes who get together on the weekend and dangle watches in front of each other's faces for fun. I'm very, very sorry.
Dr. Jordan, what about my husband? What about Jack?
I'm afraid... I don't know how to tell you this. Perhaps you'd better sit down. He's lost his sense of humour.
Oh, God, no!
Yes, Mrs. Sinclair. You know that campaign for Castlemaine Lager? The one that goes, Australians wouldn't give a... And then those 4 X's appear, which stand for fun.
Yeah.
Doesn't find that an amusing idea.
But that's a brilliant idea.
I know.
How long will I be mad, Doctor? How long will I be mad, Doctor?
Maybe 3 weeks, maybe 3 months, maybe a day or 2 days, or 2.5 weeks, or maybe a month and a half. Maybe 50 years, maybe a second, maybe half a second. Maybe you're sane now.
Well, how can you know if I'm sane now?
I could run a quick test.
Okay. Horse. Gaily they played each summer's day, warriors both, of course.
Mrs. Sinclair.
One little chap singing had a...
Mrs. Sinclair! I'm afraid we're going to have to keep you in here a little while.
Really? Oh. How long?
That's probably long enough.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
No worries, Mrs. Sinclair. Psychiatry is often criticised, but, you know, sometimes we can help people like you.
I've just heard it on the radio. Dr. Jordan, you're wanted by the police for the murder of your father.
Crazy.
without immediate government action, 40 small-scale theatre groups will close. Good. I hate state sponsorship of the arts, don't you? I mean, I think it's elitist and self-indulgent. As I was saying to the playwright Alan Bennett when we was at the match the other week, I said, I mean, if the Arts Council sponsored football, each game would be a day and a half long. One side would have 28 players, and the other side would be a pile of rotting liver. Right, at the moment, right, the Arts Council, like, they're giving loads and loads of money to the contemporary dance groups, right? I thought, oh, I'm on a good scam here. Immediately, I formed myself into the Action Trousers Modern Dance Company. And right away, they gave me 20 grand there and then to take modern dance to the masses, right? So there I was doing me dance of the inflationary spiral at the Seaforth container base, right? And all through the act, I was being watched by this ducker and this seagull. Well, the seagull sodded off. He had a review today for the Times. But the docker stayed, right? I went up to him after I'd finished my final de chevaux, you know. I went up to him, I said, hey, what do you think of that then, lad? He said, we've had unloaded here, on this dock, in my time, fruits and spices from far off Bangalore. The fruit so rich and so fragrant, it almost made you faint with its beautiful perfume. We've had unloaded here machinery so small and so delicate that it had to be unloaded with the aid of a microscope. But that's what you just did then. That reminds me of a load of unbagged bat shite that we had here in 1953. Does that answer your question? Listen, don't beat about the bush, lad. Tell us what you really think. But I mean, I had to hit him, didn't I? So what I did like a triple grand Batmore, a reverse plie, a flying jetty, and I kicked him in the larynx. They're quite useful, really, ballet dancing lessons. You know, things like that are always happening to me, though, you know. What? You going? Oh, sorry. All right, I'll see you, though. If you ever fancy a chat, I'm usually hanging round outside the Opera House, you know, but see you. Ta-da.
I'm very interested in those personalised number plates that you get on cars. Like this one here, EBD1. I often, as a game, try and figure out what they mean. EBD1, that probably stands for Enormous Bald Dickhead Number 1. Rolls Royces are a bit crass, aren't they? You know what this figure's called? It's called the Spirit of Ecstasy. Well, that's stupid, isn't it? If it really is the Spirit of Ecstasy, it should be some idiot at a rave with a hat on, blowing a whistle, going, techno, 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 techno. I don't actually earn enough money to pay for one of those personalised licence plates. So what I did was, I changed my name by deed poll, so it'd fit the number plates I already had. So now, my name is Kavasa 525 Hutch. I decided to learn to type recently, but I reckon the bloke who designed the typewriter was a nutcase. Have you seen the keyboard of a typewriter? It goes QWERTY. I mean, where was that bloke the day he did the alphabet at school? I mean, how does he look up things in the dictionary? I don't know.
Bobby, you're on.
All right, how you diddling? Bloody sod you then. Anyway, Bobby Chariot here, top warm-up man here to keep you laughing and smiling through all the breakdowns. Now, I was reading in the paper the other week, right, that bloke, John Thor, who plays Inspector Morse, he's also an actor. Now, wouldn't it be funny, right, if all policemen were also actors? Can you imagine it? You know, is this your car, my liege? Is your tax disc out of date? My liege.
What the hell are you on about?
Sorry, Mark, I'm on pills for my nerves. Anyway, then, I was in Manchester Airport the other day, and I was checking in, right, and the girl behind the counter, she said, smoking or non-smoking? I said, smoking. She said, window or aisle? I said, window or aisle what? She said, window, or I'll rip your bleeding head off, you annoying little bastard. That's my best gag, that is. Here, does anybody want to see an elephant?
Right, we're back.
But I am really worried about man and his relationship with the world, you know, our relationship with animals and stuff. I think it would be better if we were more like the animals. Mind you, I don't think it'd be a good idea if men were more like dogs and they could lick their own bollocks. You'd never get any work done, would you? I do respect animals. That's why I'm a vegetarian. A meat-eating vegetarian. You've got to start somewhere, haven't you? There is a tremendous amount of conflict in human relations. Like, when I was first married, we used to have these dinner parties with my wife and other couples, you know, one other couple. And this other couple, they'd always run in when they got there, slam down a couple of drinks and then go, well, I'm too pissed, you'll have to drive home. The other one would go, no, I'm too pissed, you'll have to drive home. They say, look, I've stabbed myself in the leg with a broken glass, you'll have to drive home. Go, no, look, I've poked both my eyes out with my fingers, you'll have to drive home. When we went round to these couples' houses ourselves, they always had these maps of, like, Northamptonshire on the wall, you know, Northamptonshire in the 14th century. Why? I mean, were they planning to go for a drive in the Middle Ages? Since you've been watching this show, 4 species of animal have become extinct. Saves them right for watching ITV, doesn't it? Here, what's this? It's a pencil moustache. And here, what's this? It's handlebar moustache. And here, what's this? It's a comedian who's completely run out of material. God, I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus, I can't do it anymore. I mean, there's nothing left to write about. I mean, my life's just become too comfortable these days. I mean, my biggest worry is what to buy Sting for his birthday. I mean, what makes me really angry these days is the price of expensive stuff. I mean, I spend most of my time looking after my investments. Sell everything, buy fish. Oh, gee, there's 37 seconds left to go on the series, and I've completely run out of material. No. This must be the happiest day of my life. 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 What a strange dream. I wonder what it meant.
Is the studio empty? Okay, lock it up.